Welcome to a special edition of The Slipper Still Fits. I'm Arden Carvalho, lead writer and host on here, The Slipper Still Fits. And I'm very, very lucky to be joined today by a Gonzaga legend, Sam Dower. Sam, how's it going?
Arden, it's going well, man. Thank you for having me.
When we were chatting on LinkedIn, I should tell everybody that's how we came across each other. I thought to myself, okay, this is going to be an awesome, awesome interview. Had to crack open a beer, had to get ready, get loose with Sam, and let's have some fun with it, right? You know what it is.
Yeah. Right on, right on.
All right. So first of all, like I said, I checked out your LinkedIn. It looks like you've been doing a lot outside of college basketball or after college basketball, kind of, business world and the professional basketball world. I'd love to hear like what's life after college basketball been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster ride for sure. I mean, dating back to 2014 when I had first left Gonzaga and
Hmm.
started venturing to, trying to get into the NBA. Like I did NBA Summer League with the Raptors.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ended up getting hurt. And then I was back to the drawing board. And then I ended up going to France for my first year, which was a huge culture shock. It was my first time leaving the country. And so that was a big, learning experience for me. Not only just cultural wise, just all right, is this what I want to do type of
Hmm.
thing, because I was so far away from my family. And it was just a different lifestyle that I wasn't accustomed to yet. Um, so it was a struggle at first, but then the longer I was over there, I played with a few different teams, the more acclimated I got to living and playing over there. And it ended up, being great while I was healthy. It ended up being short because I just kept getting hurt every season. So I ended up retiring early, but I played in France my first year. Second year I played in Latvia. And my last 2 years I played for the same team in Poland.
Hmm.
And then my last season, I actually ended up getting hurt in preseason. Like I didn't even play like a game. Ended up tearing my meniscus again. And then once that happened, it was okay, what's next? My basketball chapter is probably done.
Hmm.
So I look forward, look to see what new opportunities are out there for me.
Yeah, no, exactly. And what's so great about going to Gonzaga, that Gonzaga degree, it'll take you far, take you to other places outside of the basketball court, which is really fantastic to hear that's the case for you. Now let's go back to your in high school. You're thinking about where am I going to go play college basketball. You were deciding between the likes of Marquette, Minnesota, your hometown state, California, George Mason. What really went into the decision of choosing Gonzaga, and because of it, and with that being said, what would you give any potential recruit that was considering Gonzaga? What would you tell them in order to convince them to come over?
With me, it was all like I wanted to get a feel for if they would be a fit for me, like my prospective school. So I visited each of them just to see, all right, will this work for me? How do I work with the players, with the coaching
Mm-hmm.
staff,
Yeah.
with the college, the campus and all that. Can I envision myself doing this? Because at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you have to look, I could potentially be here 4 years. So my thing is I want to make sure if I'm going to be somewhere for that long, I want to make sure I like it. So the only way to really get a feel for that is by physically being in that spot, being at
Mm-hmm.
that, talking to the players and coaches and all that. So it was a big thing for me to actually go visit these colleges. And then once I visited them all, did my reflection on each with my parents and my old AAU coach slash mentor, Marquise Watts. Um, and one of the last schools I visited was Gonzaga. And then I went there and just was blown away. It was really like right. I don't think it was anything that they were like. I don't know. It wasn't. It didn't seem. It seemed natural. Like it didn't seem like they didn't want to portray this. Oh, this is way better than everybody else. It was more
Uh-huh.
so it's home type. That's like the vibe I got. Like this is home.
A little low
Um,
key, kind of low key environment,
yeah,
and
yeah,
something that you
yeah.
can
Like
kind of
yeah,
like
we
get
yeah we
behind.
yeah, for
Uh-huh.
sure. And then I remember just the last day I was there, like we had like a barbecue at Coach Few's house, and it was just real intimate, but just all the
Mm-hmm.
players, Coach Few families, Marcy. and everybody, and it was like I verbally committed then and there. Like my
Oh, nice.
intuitions were telling me like this is where you want to be. And so like I didn't feel that at any other place I visited. So I'm like, this is
Uh-huh.
different. So I verbally committed right then and there. I knew it was home, and it's still to this day I consider it a second home, and I love Spokane, and that's why I chose it.
Sounds like Mark Few's grill, Master on the Grill, kind of did a little convincing for you to verbally commit right then and there, right?
That may have played a part in it,
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right, now we're gonna jump a little ahead, to your junior year because one thing that stood out, when I was kind of reflecting on those years, it was Kelly Olynyk. He had that redshirt season. He came in right, and he took
Yep.
over majority of the starting spot
Yep.
for your position. I kind of want to see what was going through your head with that. Were you? I don't want to say were you mad or frustrated because when you see today's kids something like that to happen, they immediately want to go to the transfer portal. They immediately maybe want to leave, and they say, nope, if I'm not getting the minutes, I'm out. But you
Yeah.
stuck around. You were successful off the bench. You were one of the best bench pieces in the WCC. So tell me what was going through your mind when you heard that news that he was going to get that starting spot and how it played out throughout the season.
Yeah, that was it was crazy because like Olynyk, that's my best friend, so like
Yeah,
we
of course.
talk to this day.
Yeah.
But throughout the course of like prior to that year, I saw the player he was becoming.
Mhm.
Um, Everybody, so not just me, like everybody saw, right?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yeah.
knew
Yeah.
that he was going to be a star, and like I was seeing like the work he was putting in with his red shirt. He was really embracing that red shirt and just
Mhm.
trying to get best he could, before the season started. And but as a player, as a competitor, you know, to have your spot taken, it could, make or break you, right? Like if you could look
Yeah.
at it like, why is this happening to me? Or you could make the most of the situation and try to make them, be the best that you can and help the team out the
Definitely.
most you can, which was the route that I took.
Mhm.
Um, a big reason why, because yeah, anybody could, I'm done. I want to go
Yeah.
transfer somewhere else, somewhere where I will play. But the thing that, really kept me away from, kind of taking that route is at the end of the day, I loved the guys who I was playing with.
Nice.
So like I prioritize that over me, my playing time. I'd rather play somewhere where I'm with my brothers. I consider them all the guys I play with my brothers versus going somewhere and playing a ton of minutes. At that time in my life, it was that's just what I had built at Gonzaga. I valued that brotherhood, that friendship, that family, more than playing time at the time. And so that's what kind of kept me there and like didn't force me to like want to go transfer right away because I just like being there. I wasn't starting, but I still came off the bench and was a
Yeah.
productive off the bench. So it wasn't the end of the world for me.
Mhm.
I also looked at it as an opportunity to grow.
Yeah.
Think, it was like, okay, I guess I do got to work on some things. And so prior to that, went through that season, my junior year or
Yep.
sophomore year,
Your junior year.
or junior year, and then
Yeah.
I took that same approach that Olynyk took in his redshirt year and applied that to the offseason.
Mhm.
That's why my numbers increased significantly, like when I was
Yeah.
starting, because I just was moving differently, like as far as like working, trying to get
Yeah.
better, development.
Yeah,
And
I was
yeah,
about to say, you had that absolutely baller season the next year. It turned out to
yeah,
be the smartest decision probably you made at Gonzaga, all
yeah,
WCC first team, WCC
yeah,
tournament MVP. So yeah, very smart move on your part.
yeah. And like I said, I had redshirted before, right? Like my first year,
Mhm.
but it was
Yeah.
a little bit
Mhm.
different. Like coming in, like
Yeah.
I got stronger, right? Like I think I was more so focused on getting adjusted to the physicality of college basketball because I came into college like really skinny and I was just
Mhm.
in high school I was always bigger than everybody, right? In college basketball that wasn't the case, so
Mhm.
we were more focused, or at least myself was more focused on getting bigger. And then I
Yeah.
got bigger, but I didn't make any progress as far as my skill set. And that skill set translated into confidence on the court. And I saw like what it did for Olynyk. Well, I'm like,
Mhm.
okay, well, that's how I need to approach this now. And that's what
Mhm.
I did all season. And, that's why, I played significantly better and was more productive my senior year.
A perfect example of somebody that's actually doing that did that their freshman year this past year is Braden Huff, and he's probably in that same kind of boat. Was bigger than everybody in high school, came to the college game, realized, oh man, I got to change up my diet, my workout habits. I got to get bigger,
Yeah.
got to get in the gym. So kind of the same process that you went through that he's going through.
Yep.
I like to ask this question whenever I talk with Gonzaga people, like when I was talking with Rem. Uh, you've been a part of so many amazing teams. It's like a really hard question to really answer, but and sometimes it could be an obscure answer. It can't be maybe a specific game, maybe it was off the court. But what's been your favorite memory as a Gonzaga Bulldog?
Favorite memory? Definitely the first time that we were number one in the nation. Um,
Yes.
my junior year.
Okay.
We did that for not in the tournament and the AP and all that. We were just a number one seed in the tournament and we were number
Mm-hmm.
one in the country. So that was pretty cool because like we made history. Like Gonzaga hadn't done that at that time. Gonzaga hadn't done
Yeah.
that yet. So
Yeah.
it was really, really cool to be a part of that. I remember, I forget where we were coming back from. But we got on the campus and they had this huge cake in the shape of a number
Yes.
one.
Yes. Yes.
So I
They
always
still
remember
do
that. Like,
that. They still
yeah,
do that
okay, yeah.
whenever they
So
get number one.
so I remember that, like that was like I'm like, wow, this is pretty awesome. So
Yeah.
I definitely, being number one, the first Gonzaga team to be number one seed was definitely, my biggest memory. And there are other memories outside of basketball.
Yeah. Of course.
I don't need to talk about those ones.
I'll take a sip of beer after
Yeah.
that comment from Sam. Mm. All right. So now I asked you a tough question a tough question about your favorite memory. Now I'm gonna ask you a tough question about who is the toughest player you ever played against. There's one guy that I'm thinking of because I remember this game specifically. I think I was maybe a junior in high school or something. He actually is playing in the NBA Finals right now, or going to play in the NBA Finals. I could be wrong, but I was going to say Aaron Gordon. Who do you think was the toughest player you played against in college?
Yeah, that Arizona team was good too.
I know. I remember that Gonzaga
Yeah,
Arizona game at the McHale Center. It was a
yep.
bonkers environment.
Yeah, they had a really good team. They not only had him, but they had Nick Johnson, Rondé
Mm-hmm.
Hollis Jefferson.
Yeah, exactly.
They had some other guys too, like some other league guys. They were
Mm-hmm.
good. Aaron Gordon, I would say it's a tie
Okay.
between. I guess I didn't like I wasn't his primary defender, but I like witnessed him in person and
Sure.
like I
Sure.
sometimes was on him helping the guard out. So
Sure.
it would be Jimmer for that too.
I should have thought of that one.
Jimmer went
Okay. Yeah.
Jimmer went crazy.
Yes.
It was like one of those things. It's like, I mean, what do you like? Like what can
How
you
do you
do type
guard
of
that?
thing?
How do you guard
Yeah.
that? Yeah, exactly.
I bet like that team that faced Steph Curry, with Davidson
Mm-hmm.
probably went through the same
Mm-hmm.
thing when like it was like, well,
Definitely.
what do we do type of thing. It was that same feeling with Jimmer. So I'd say it's a tie between Jimmer and Aaron Gordon for sure.
I can't believe I didn't. I totally forgot about Jimmer Mania. I was kind of thinking just more matchups with you, but I should have
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
Jimmer for that. Yeah,
I mean, yeah,
that's
you were
good.
thinking like primary defense. Like I guarded
Primary
everything.
defender. I was like, you were guarding Aaron Gordon. He's a tough guy, so that's a great answer from you. All right, moving ahead. Expectations for next season's Gonzaga squad. Yeah, obviously, you've heard a lot of transfer news with Ryan Nemhard, Graham Ike, Steele Venters. Is Malachi Smith coming back? Is Anton Watson coming back? Just in general, what are your expectations for the team? What do you think?
Yeah, there's still like so much like mystery going into the season. Like we don't know, like you said, who's
Yeah,
coming
yeah,
back.
of
This
course.
transfer portal still going, so we don't necessarily know.
Yeah.
But no matter what team it is, we're still Gonzaga, and so I'll always expect us to go out and compete, whether we're number one in the nation or
Mhm.
we're not ranked, and
Yeah.
not getting the respect that we deserve, because that's how we got to where we're at, right? We had to earn the respect that we're getting now, but we weren't always number one. We weren't always top 10.
Mhm. Mhm.
We started off as a Cinderella story, and now we
Yeah.
blossomed who we are now. But I definitely expect us to go out and compete every night. I feel like defensively we should be good,
Yeah.
just because we're bringing in some pieces,
Mhm.
and it's big. Him and Coach Michelson are good. Big on you got to make a stop first.
Yeah. All
Um,
starts on the defensive end.
Yep, exactly. And we've always been, it's part of being a Zag is just overcoming adversity. So
I like that answer.
we'll have
Yeah.
that instilled with them. Coach Few will get them right, mentally. Travis Knight will get them right in the weight room so
Hmm.
that they have
Hmm.
confidence out there. They can go out to battle every night.
Great. I like that. All right. One more question. Funny answer for funny question because I was kind of
Yeah.
doing a little research and I don't really know the full backstory. I don't know if this is true. What is this about you and Taco Bell? Is something like you're obsessed with? I don't know what it is. I was just going through my Twitter feed, searching Sam Dower, and I came across this and was like, is it you obsessed with Taco Bell?
Yeah. So I actually used to love Taco Bell before I got to Gonzaga, but it all started in high school, right? Like senior year of high school, like I had my own car. My dad gave me a car. On
Yeah.
the way to school and back, I guess there's a Taco Bell, like in between my house and school.
Yeah.
And in high school, you don't have any money, but Taco Bell was
Yeah.
extremely cheap. You can get a burrito of 70 cents, whatever, 65 cents.
Yeah.
You had to do
Yeah.
35 cents. So we used to go all the time because like we didn't have much money. So we would go there and we eat it, and I loved it. And then that sort of like infatuation for T-Bell grew once I got to college and room with, David Stockton, Kelly Olynyk, and
Mhm.
all our
Mhm.
roommates that didn't play basketball. We didn't have NIL deals back then. So we still like didn't
Yeah.
have a lot of money. And so we would go to Taco Bell like, a lot, like at night, like after practice, we go to Taco Bell as a group. So it was
Mhm.
more like it grew more so just because of the camaraderie of
Mhm.
going to Taco Bell with your boys. Like, yes, let's go eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And like
Exactly.
that's what inspired me to like, follow Taco Bell so much. And I'm a huge ambassador, like self-proclaimed
Love it.
ambassador. I'm still waiting for a tweet back from them,
I
but
was about to say sponsor Sam Dower at Taco
I
Bell.
know, like so many people said they haven't shown me any love, but I don't do it for them to notice me. I do it because I genuinely love Taco Bell. Like I don't need
That's
their shout out, but it
love
would
that.
be cool to get. But that's how the obsession kind of just grew from that. Just going with my boys and like so I always remember every time I go, like man, we used to, and we still talk about it to this day.
Still.
So I'm like, yeah, man,
Oh,
like,
that's funny.
we don't eat it nearly as much. Like I don't eat it nearly as much as I talk about it. By
Yeah.
the way,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish I
Of course.
could. Back
Yeah.
then, I did.
You're getting older, man. You can't be
Yeah,
eating that
exactly.
stuff.
Back then I could, but now,
Oh God.
my metabolism slowed down. Like I can't eat as much as I used to, but I still enjoy it when I can. But yeah, it just brings back memories. It's a part of
Totally.
some great experiences I've had. So many trips to T-Bell and just so many funny trips and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's why, I'm obsessed with Taco Bell.
Man, if you guys had an NIL deal back then, I think you would have bought out the whole
Oh,
restaurant.
for sure. We were going so we were going so much that there's this wonderful lady. She's at the Taco
Uh-huh.
Bell on what's that street? Monroe, the Monroe
Oh
Street,
yeah,
right
yeah,
at the
yeah.
Spokane Arena.
Uh-huh.
This
Mhm. Mhm.
wonderful lady named Sadie, and we love Sadie. Like we're on a first name basis. Like we were
Oh
going
man.
so much that she would know it was us, and she was like, "Hey guys, I have your order ready for when you guys get up," because we ordered the same thing. And so
Oh
we
my
she'd
gosh.
already have our order ready, and like obviously we just pay for it, and we're on our way. But like she knew exactly what we'd get every time, which is fun.
That's
And I think she
awesome.
still works there. So like anytime I go back, I try to go and see her and say hi.
Shout out Sadie for
Yeah.
feeding the Gonzaga Bulldogs some Taco Bell. Their pregame fuel, they needed it. They needed it for all their success. Well, thanks, Sam. Thanks, Sam. I
Hey,
really
no problem.
appreciate you joining me. The Slipper Still Fits really enjoys listening from old Zags. They
Yeah,
love hearing the stories like the Taco Bell stories and all the stories that you just gave. We really
yeah.
appreciate all you give back to the Gonzaga community because you did a lot for us.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That love and support is reciprocated.
Hmm.
I wouldn't be here where I'm at without you guys' support when I, went to Gonzaga and still support
Absolutely.
to this day. So it's,
Absolutely.
we're all in this together. It'll always be Go Zags forever.
Great. Awesome. And we'll end it on that. Go Zags. And thanks, Sam, again.
All right. Peace.
Perfect. Thank you so much.